I'm starting to dislike this this area. Our planned voyage never took place. While returning to Ravenna to pick up the remainder of his belongings, Dante died. Dismayed at the loss of my mentor, I went to inform my father and Miss Apollo of the sad news. Before I could even speak, I was ushered into the study, and my father, his face white, locked the door behind me. Ooh. Shocked, I listened in silence as he spoke. Dante intended to take the Codex to Spain, where it would be safe. But he was being watched. The enemy of the assassins, the Knights Templar, still existed. I recalled the stories he had told me of the Templars, and it all became clear. Dante had been murdered. The Templars knew about the Codex, and they knew about us. Shaking, my father told me to take the Codex and leave for Spain at once with my wife and child. As Messer Polo ushered me out the door, he handed me a small piece of paper with a number on it. With this number, I could draw on his credit. More ducats than I had ever seen in my life at any bank in Italy. Try and learn how this end bit's done before I go back and reset it. Yeah, okay. Just do a wall run and leap to the left and hope like hell that the game does what you tell it to do. We set sail that night, the ship filled with cargo to sell on the markets of Barcelona. At first all was well, then to avoid a coming storm we laid anchor in the Otranto harbour. Cloaked in darkness, the pirates came. I didn't see them until they were already boarding my ship. I hid with my family in the hold, putting out the Codex. I ran the worn leather cover through my hands, then I broke the spine. Finish that book. The pages slid silently onto the floor. I scattered them into the chest boxes and containers I was carrying to market. The men who found us were drunk. I could smell it on their breath. When they asked for the codex, I knew who had sent them. Holding back my rage, I said that I had thrown it overboard. They started to laugh. Two held me down, still grinning, while the rest cut off my wife's clothes. She begged for mercy until her voice gave out. Once they were done, they threw her into the sea. They took my cargo, sunk my ship, and left me adrift, clinging to a piece of railing. I made it to the beach with my son. My wife's body washed up on the shore the next morning with the tide. Ah, man, that is awful. Yeah, I can see why he's unhappy now. That's a great start. Let's, if you can stop slipping for a minute, let's do a bit of a take two. I never saw the sea again. Making my way to Florence, I rented a small room and then visited the bank. I had memorized Polo's account number. With the vast sum I now had at my disposal, I went to Venice in disguise to find my father. I returned to Florence the next day. Both Polo and my father were already dead. From that moment forward, I collected treatises on architecture, studied the classics, and took vocal lessons. I adopted the name Auditore, impersonating a noble at the Florentine court. Accepted as one of their own, I took on the trappings of nobility and constructed this villa for me and my son. And then I hunted them. I raised my son to fight, to find the codex, and to kill Templars. Together we would regain the honor of my wife and avenge the death of my father, two debts that could never be repaid. To the auditory that reads this, remember that you are not a nobleman. You are not one of the deceivers. You are one of the people. Avenge us. Alright, I will. I can still collect a bit of money along the way, right? Every florin. So there's nothing on the chest to take this time, just this trapdoor. So it looks like you just get 1,000 monies and you get to say that you did it. And that's it. I was hoping for one of the doodads. Does that mean like the final financial room was the least guarded room of all? Also, I'm out in the middle of absolutely nowhere with no horse or nothing. Bro, this sucks. I'm gonna take this horse. I mean,